All right, you're welcome back here. My name is Great Gold, and we started our conversation on faith. And this video, we're just going to pick it up from there. And I trust that you got inspired by the first video. And in case you've not seen that video, I would encourage you go back to watch that video so you can really understand the conversation and really get blessed by this conversation. And yes, I would encourage, if you've not subscribed to this channel, you go on to do that. Go on to like, go on to comment on the video so I can know your thoughts. I can know where you are at, know if you got blessed, know if you have a question and all of that. And please do well to share with your friends, your colleagues, anyone you know that needs this. Please do well to share with them. So I'm just going to pick up from where we stopped in the last video. And yeah, I explained in the last video that you need faith to enjoy your walk with the Lord. It's not okay for God to want to do things in your life. It's not okay for God to reveal things to you. It's not okay for all of that. You need to go from there to making these things work. And the way we make these things work is by faith. God can say that in the next 3 years, your life is going to go from this level to the next level. It could tell you how that it wants to shake the world with you, how he wants to bless humanity with what is put on your life. He can tell you, all of those amazing things we hear, prophecies and all of that. Maybe while you were a child in your mother's womb, a prophet looks at your mom and says, this baby you carry in your womb is going to do mighty things across the nations of the earth. It's going to transform lives across the nations of the earth. But you see, without faith, you will keep telling us about the amazing things God has said he wants to do with your life, but you will not come into their manifestations. You will tell us about the great things. You will tell us about the vision you saw, how that an angel came, stood before you and told you that with your voice, the nations will, tremble. It shows you how that you see how that a trumpet has been given to you, and you blew the trumpet, and as you blew the trumpet, the whole globe shook, and then the voice of the Lord came and said, with you, I will shake the nation. You can have all of those amazing experiences, all those amazing experiences that when you tell us, we get inspired. But you see, if you want those things to become real in your life, it is with faith. So you see, you cannot not understand faith. You cannot not live by faith. The Bible will say that the just lives by faith. This is why your faith needs to be active, and that's why we're having this conversation about faith. So I'm just going to read from Hebrews 11, where we read from in the last video. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Those before us obtained a good report by faith, not just by their plenty activities, but because they worked in faith. Verse 3 says, through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. So you see, even God needed faith to create the world. If God needed, then who are we not to need faith? If God the Almighty needed faith, then obviously you and I need faith. He created faith, he used faith rather, to create the worlds. If faith could create the world, then you need faith to survive in this world that we live in. So yes, you're a good Christian. Yeah, you're an amazing believer. Yes, but you need faith to survive in your walk with the Lord. You need faith to live the Christian life. And I'm just going to share a few thoughts with us, which I believe is going to bless you. Verse 6 now goes on to tell you, verse 4 says, by faith Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained a witness he was righteous, God testifying of his gift, and by it, being dead, yet speaketh. By faith, that's verse 5, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. Verse 6 says something important, and I need you to pay attention to this. It says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. So you see, no matter your activities, no matter how much you perform your Christian rituals, without faith, you really cannot please God. So this is what faith is. Faith is you living in the realm of God. Faith is you seeing as God is seeing, saying what God is saying. I'll use I'll just create an analogy so you can understand this. So I was talking with a preacher one time who told me of somewhere he traveled to in Africa. um this is one of those remote villages where they've not allowed civilization, so they still go about wearing leaves and all of that. They've not allowed civilization amongst them. They will not let you see the way I'm dressed, they won't let you come into their community. They don't want your civilization. So he was telling me that if you want to preach to those people, then you have to dress like them. So it means you have to pull off your clothes, you have to wear leaves and all of that. And I can imagine myself, I really cannot go to such a place. I really cannot imagine myself wearing leaves. God didn't call me for that. But then you see, you cannot relate with these people, you cannot talk with these people, you cannot get to them till you come to their level. You dress like them, try to speak their language. That is the only time they can understand you. That's the only time they can appreciate what you're doing. It is the same thing with faith. Faith is God's language, as it were. So you cannot be speaking Luganda. Let's say you're from Uganda and you're speaking to an Igbo man in Nigeria. You're speaking Luganda to an Igbo man in Nigeria. You cannot please him because you're not speaking his language. He doesn't understand you. Neither can you be speaking Igbo to someone in Zulu, South Africa. They don't understand you. Even though what you're saying is good, you're trying to tell them, see, you look so amazing. Oh, I love your perfume. I love your this. I love your that. You are so amazing. But he's not understanding you. That way, you cannot have fellowship. You cannot please the person. That is how faith is. Faith is us coming into God's realm and speaking his language. You're coming into God's realm and speaking God's language. That's what faith is. That is why without faith you cannot please God. This is why the Christian journey is the journey of faith. Faith is you just standing where God is standing, viewing the world from God's lens, and acting as God wants. That's what faith really is. So faith is you speaking from God's realm, talking from God's realm. This is why many times when God talks to us, he talks to us like he's not seeing the challenges we are facing. Have you been in that place where you are having a major challenge? There is a mountain before you, for example. Let me come up with something. Let's say you have a financial challenge. You have a financial challenge. And then the Lord tells you to go and do something. And the thing is telling you to do is bigger than the money you need. Let's say you need $1,000 right now. You need $1,000, really do need $1,000. And then God calls you and says, hey, I need you to go and do so, and so. And that thing is going to cost $5,000. And you're like, I don't understand. Are you not seeing that I need $1,000? Why are you telling me about $5,000? It is because God is saying from his own realm. God, it's like when you are flying. When you're on the land, you can see a big building. You are there, the building looks so big, that so mighty. But when you are up in the air and you look down, you realize that building that looked so big when you're on the ground now looks so small while you are up there. So God from his realm is saying that what you call a challenge is not a challenge. Do you understand? God from his realm is looking, oh, that's not really a challenge. It's not a big deal. But you're down and you're saying, oh, this is so big. Oh, I cannot achieve this. Oh, my family is this. My mother is this. Oh, my country is this. I cannot. But God looking from there saying that, oh, wow, this my son can really achieve this. So what God expects is that now you now come in faith. So faith now brings you to his realm. So that now you can now look down at the challenge and say, oh, this is but a small thing. For by my God, I run through this troop and I leap over walls. You can look at challenges and say, oh, this thing, it's possible. And everyone looks around you and says, no, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Out there, you say this thing is possible. Oh, it's because now you are in God's realm. You are seen as God is seen. You are seeing that which is called a big thing for some people, you are seeing it from God's realm, and you're saying that no, this thing, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I can go through it. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. And someone is telling you, no, you don't have money in your bank account right now. You are wanting, and you say, no, the Lord is my shepherd; I cannot want. What has happened to you now? You are now in faith. You are now seeing from God's realm. You say that truly I cannot want. There is a way for me. I cannot be stranded. But you see, if you do not understand faith, you'll be down on the earth and you'll be praying, hoping, and expecting that God, out of his sovereign will make things work for you. But God is saying, no, come to my level. Come to my level. Come to faith. Come to the realm of faith and see how that which was a challenge right now is like bread to you. It's not a big deal anymore. This is why many times when you meet people of faith, it looks like they are arrogant. It looks like they don't understand life's realities because someone is saying, "Oh, the government is this and that," and someone of faith is saying, "Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's not a big challenge." You remember the story of Elisha? Elisha comes before the king and he says, by this time tomorrow, this and this and this will happen. And someone says, no, even though God will open the windows of heaven, it cannot happen. What he was saying was actually true. Yes, what he was saying was actually true based on the circumstance there. But a man was talking from faith. A man was talking from faith. And you see, faith always works. Faith is a law. And it always works if you know how to work it. So someone talks from faith and says, by this time tomorrow, and truly, by that time tomorrow, things had happened. So what I want you to understand today, what I want you to take home today, is to come to the place of faith. You have prayed enough, you've shouted, you've done all of your Christianese activities, but now it's time to live by faith. For the just, for you shall live by faith. It is by faith we quench the mouth of lions. It's by faith we quench the fiery darts of the enemy. It is by faith. You are meant to live by faith. You were given birth to by faith, and you will be sustained by faith. In the next video, I'm going to pick it up from here, and we're going to go deeper into the subject of faith. I'm trusting that I'll see you in the next video.